Welcome to the Next Ring podcast, where your New England Patriots, after a long wait, a lot of anticipation, have finally acquired A.J. Brown. G, what are your thoughts?
To quote AJ Brown today, it ain't heaven, but it's close to it.
That was a funny quote.
That was great. No, I mean, this is awesome, dude. If you don't fanboy over this stuff, then I don't know, then you're just not really like a true diehard Pats fan. Like this guy grew up in Mississippi or wherever he's from, was a diehard Patriots fan. We've been chasing him 7 años, 7 years, waiting for AJ Brown to be a Patriot. Should have been with us the whole way. But the point of the matter is, we got him now. Already at practice, already catching balls from Drake Maye. I couldn't be more excited to have him.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like it doesn't feel there's such like an anticlimactic aspect because of the way this went down. Where it's just like you were kind of like expecting it, and like it was like, yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
happen, and what's it gonna be? And but if this like I'm trying to think like if it had been like day one of free agency and it'd been like boom, AJ Brown to the Pats, you'd be like, holy shit, let's fucking go. And it's not it hasn't like had that reaction. But when you kind of take a step back, it's like, all right, you kind of look at the offseason, what we went into it thinking, like, I think like priority 1A was like, man, they really need to find a way to get a wide receiver one. And they got one now. So pretty excited about what this offense is going to look like this year.
Yeah, and you know what I was thinking of since this all has happened is just Josh McDaniels. The last couple of times he's had like true X boundary receivers like AJ Brown. You go back to 2022 when he was the head coach of the Raiders. Devontae Adams had one of the best years of his career. Led the league in reception, I think, in receiving yards and in touchdowns. Brandon Marshall in 2009 led the league in catches, over 120 catches, close to 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. Randy Moss in 2007, one of Josh's first years as the OC. Like when he has these types of guys, he knows how to feature them and knows how to get them the ball. And AJ Brown is going to be rejuvenated coming here. There was some drama going on in Philly that we'll talk about a little bit later on. But I think he's really going to want to prove he still is that guy, that his knee isn't a thing, and that he's ready to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna look. What do we expect from him this season? And I think, yeah, I mean, he's still like he's at the end of his prime, right? At least he's in
Right.
his. He's still should be in his prime years, like stats wise. I mean, what was he? I think he was like around a little over 1,000 the past couple of years, but then the two before that, he was like around like 1,400. But it's like it's such a like, how do you evaluate the fact that he's playing with Jalen Hurts? I think Jalen Hurts' career high is like 250 yards or something. And it's like, yeah, you're going to Drake Maye, McDaniels offense. They got a ton of talent. I mean, I don't know what I think he could easily get 1,300 yards, 8, 9 touchdowns this year and just be like, that's like kind of like median range, I almost think.
Yeah, I mean, my expectations for him, he's going to catch 90 balls. He's going to have 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have. I think he's going to have a great season here. And again, what he does well are two. Well, he does a lot of things well, but two things he does really well is one, beat man coverage, which the Patriots didn't really have a ton of those guys last year. And then number two, he's great at those long, deep balls. And that's what Drake Maye's. Drake Maye completed 72% of his passes, 20 yards or more down the field. I mean, it is like almost like a perfect type match for what his skill set is and what our quarterback can do and how our offensive coordinator knows how to feature this type of player.
Yeah. Like for what they were lacking, and we're just thinking like a red zone, right? Like he's a guy you can just throw him up. He's covered, but he's not. Romeo Dobbs kind
Yes.
of similar, and I felt like last year a lot of times they get down there inside the 10. It was like, who are we throwing the ball to here? Like Hunter Henry's our best option. I don't know if he's really like your bet. It's not great if he's your 1A option in the red zone. And now you got two
Right.
guys they brought in this year. Even this kid Eli Raritan looks like he could be a guy, he's a big kid in the future. It just feels like it's going to be a lot easier for them down there. And then yeah, it's just a great. It's in the other thing, like obviously we talk about the compensation, right? Like I've kind of been on the team of like I don't want to give up a first. I was especially on like team don't give up your 2026 first. Obviously we didn't want to give up the 2027. So when it's a 28, it's interesting, right? Like, it's still like, all right, 2028 is gonna come, and now we're gonna have Drake Maye on big money. It seems like, oh shit, we're gonna have our first round pick. But you know what? He's in his rookie contract, and I really like that they're like, "Hey, we made the Super Bowl last year. We need to get a lot better, and we're in a position where we can really cash in on this kid on his rookie contract for a couple more years. Let's push our chips in. Let's make this trade and get AJ Brown in, and like, yeah, like let's go for it. Let's try to get back to the Super Bowl." So I love the aggression from the Patriots with this.
Yeah, right. So, like, if we win the Super Bowl one of these next 2 years, and AJ Brown is a big contributor and plays really well, nobody's gonna care or remember about that first round pick. Now, granted, if it turns out to be like a Hall of Fame player, okay, whatever. But like, if you win the championship and AJ Brown's a part of it, it doesn't matter. Most teams, like, right, they, in recent history, other than maybe Matt Stafford and Brady, every quarterback the last 15 years, they've all won on their rookie contract. You got to cash in. You got to capitalize now. It's
Mhm.
really hard to win when you're paying your quarterback, that type of money. And, Drake Maye's going to get a $70 million contract when it's his time, right? So now's the time to be aggressive. You never really get anywhere in, the NFL, and you don't really get anywhere in life kind of middling it and, kind of like, oh, we'll just, do it day by day, break. And it's like, no, you have to take chances sometimes. And if it blows up in their face, it blows up in their face. But you have to take risks, and this was a risk worth taking. You needed a true the I don't think the construction of the receiver room works without an AJ Brown type. Now this really works.
Yeah, yeah. The offense now. I mean, you got Brown, you got Dobbs. We'll see if Booty sticks around, but you got your Matt Collins, Kyle Williams, Byron Douglas. It's a pretty damn good group. Offensive line's bolstered. Like we've talked about, can you get Henderson involved in the passing game? Stevenson. All of a sudden, it's like, man, they've really improved the weapons on this roster in the past couple of years. So what we were looking at 2 years ago in Drake Maye's rookie season, how damn weak that group was. So it's like, it feels like this is going to be an awesome offense this year. Like really, like if Drake can play at the level he was at last year, or even like pretty close to it. I mean, it's gonna be like, how do you evaluate that? Because like, if there's so much more talent, it's gonna be easier for him. But he
Sure.
might even take a step up. Like this kid, he looks like he's beefed up a little bit. Drake, he's got some muscle on him. Like he might be able to run a little bit more. He's gonna have a lot more.
Second year in Josh's system too.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard not to get excited, and I think the biggest question mark is Will Campbell.
I 100% agree. Will Campbell is like one of the biggest things. That and how Drake mentally responds from a Super Bowl defeat, like with any young player. But
Yeah,
Will Campbell's ability to protect Drake and how he responds from his playoff performance. And it's either like, okay, I was hurt, I'm putting it past me, or shit, can I play against these guys? Can I really play and, protect and play left tackle in this league? It's a huge storyline.
yeah, yeah. It's like if they can give Drake the protection. And I mean, the thing is, like, there's so much talk about like, oh, the schedule was so weak. Like from a lot of people, it's like if you were watching this kid week to week, you know how special he was last year. Like we were coming on here just raving about his play every week. So
Right.
it's like,
And the schedule thing last year, just to piggyback off that, bro, it's like I would have maybe understood that if we were winning every game by like a field goal, and it was like these like
yeah,
how the Broncos played last year and all these last second crazy wins. It's like, okay, yeah, like that's a little luck. We were kicking teams' ass. Like we had belt to ass a lot of weeks. It's not like, oh, they were skimming by. We beat the shit out of all these bad teams. It's like that's what you're supposed to do if you're a good team, is you beat the shit out of the bad teams. And that's what we did. We beat the Jets by like 200 points right before Christmas.
yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying, man. And it's like, all right, so now you're gonna be playing like the Bears. It's like, oh, we would play the Bears this year. Like now he's not going to play. It's like he's gonna go light these teams up with these weapons. So, um, I'm excited. But yeah, I think that the trade itself is just interesting. The 2028 first aspect. I wish this is in my original thought. I heard somebody say to, "Well, why don't NFL teams have like the pick protections they have in the NBA? Like, why couldn't it be like, hey, we'll give you a 2028 top 10 protected? Because like, God forbid 2028 comes or 2027
you're right.
season and Drake like breaks his ankle or something, and all of a sudden we're picking 9, and that's going to Philly. That's gonna hurt. But you know what? I like that they went in for it and they didn't, these next couple seasons where he's on that rookie deal, it's not hurting the assets from that chest, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. Right. Would I prefer them to give up a second round pick? Sure. But that's 2 years out, dude. 2 years is a lifetime in the NFL. Like 2028 in our life is very quick. But in the NFL, that's like, just think of the 2024 NFL season, how long ago it was. AJ Brown was a happy Super Bowl winning member of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a long time in the NFL. If they really want to get another first round pick that year, they'll have ways to get that and, leap up and make trades to get back into the first round if they really want to. So it's so far out, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, it's interesting 'cause I know that there's, like, some GM speak of, like, "Oh, future picks are discounted," but, like, I feel like that's only the case if you're, like, a GM with his job on the line in a way. If you know you're gonna be there, like, why is that discounted? It's almost,
Mhm.
like, more of an uncertainty, but I think like you said, like, because I'm not worried about it as far as how we did it. I'm more just like I think it's just interesting as somebody who followed that type of stuff. It's like, oh, like you don't see that often. Like, oh, we're giving you a first round pick 2 years out. But
In football, it never
Howie
happens.
Roseman's got a ton of job security with this whole thing, you know?
Yeah, for him though, maybe it's like, okay, maybe it's a piggyback on why maybe the Eagles want to do this, dude. Obviously, they number one, they need to get AJ out of the building.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you my theory in a second
I
what I
saw
heard a
something
rumor.
too.
Yeah. But I'll say that in a second. But say this year doesn't go well with Jalen Hurts, right? It's a really another bad season. He flames out again. They don't play well. The 2027 draft is a big quarterback draft, right?
Mhm.
Like there's potentially Arch Manning, there's some guys there, right, that you'd want. It's going to be a great draft class. Julian Sayin from Ohio State, all these guys, right? So say they use the ammo from, having that additional first round pick in 2028 and use that to maybe move up to get one of these quarterbacks. So it just gives
Mm.
him more like ammunition to do something and be flexible because like he's always looking to manipulate the draft and make these types of trades. So I get why Philly did it.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think the other thing to compare it to, it's a guy. So I think Waddle, who I think is like 18 months younger than Brown, maybe 19 months younger,
Yes.
he went for a first, a third, and fourth round swaps. You look at
Yes.
that, I mean, I think the Brown trade's better all day. Especially, I think Brown's cap hit's only like $10 million this year.
Yeah, we sneaky don't owe AJ as much as 98.5 The Sports Hub would like you to believe.
Yeah, we
It's
don't.
it's like it's realistically like a 2-year, $55 million deal. He doesn't have any more guaranteed money after 2027. So if he does well this year, actually, we might be sneaky giving him an extension.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what were the other receiver trades? DJ Moore went for a second in 26. I mean, I
I'm
think
out on DJ
this
Moore.
Brown trade for the 28 first is a way better trade than the DJ Moore trade. Like, I don't know where Buffalo was in this. I think AJ just wanted the Patriots with Rabel, maybe.
I mean, dude, if you, I mean, I would assume you've heard AJ talk like today. Did you hear any of the
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah. He's elated. He's on cloud nine.
Mm. I mean, it's like, I don't know. If you know that Philly's going to trade you where you want to go, and one of them is to play with like your favorite coach, a really great young quarterback who's just in the Super Bowl. Oh, and it happens to be like your childhood team that like you grew up loving that you wish drafted you there, or they say, nah, you can go to Buffalo. You do have a great quarterback in Josh Allen, but Buffalo sucks. Like it sucks. That's a shitty place to live. The coach is unknown. They've
Yeah.
never won a Super Bowl. Like they can't get over the hump. It's like, okay, you give me that, or I can go to the place where I know the coach. Says, great young quarterback, and it's my favorite team. You don't want to go there too.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think Philly kind of did probably give him
They did
some.
right by him.
Yeah, they did. Which shout out to Philly for that. But yeah, I mean, super excited. Was there any other receiver trades this offseason? I'm trying to think, like recent trades.
And for like major guys or like bum guys,
Yeah,
because there were some bums who got
were there
traded.
any other like top receivers recently that have been traded like this? I mean, AJ back in the day went for what, like a first and a third?
A first and a fourth.
Wow. So yeah, he's kept his value, but I think that the market for these guys just kind of went up too. Like that Waddle trade
It
kind of
is.
sets the market. And again, like I'm taking AJ over Waddle all day. Waddle's like a speed guy. He's getting a little older now.
That was a good trade for the Dolphins, I thought.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. The Dolphins made some good moves. What was so what is the drama that you heard? It's something about like Hassan Reddick. Is that what you saw?
Yes, it was the Hassan Reddick thing that he had an affair with AJ's side girl
Like
in
yeah, they were
Philly.
both. It was both of their side girls, but she had a boyfriend.
Yeah. That's Philly football. And then like Jalen Hurts kind of him and Jalen Hurts were like boys before, and like Jalen Hurts kind of like didn't have his back on it or whatever, and it like completely ruined the locker room.
So that I mean, it goes to show we've been talking like, oh, like is Mike Vrabel's thing gonna hurt our locker room? It's like, well, if that's the shit that's going on in these locker rooms, I don't know
Yeah.
if there's too much concern for a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
Um,
That's why Brett, AJ, and coach are so tight.
yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, I saw it was Freddie sent our group chat. It was like the Vrabel Rossini hug me picture, but it was like AJ Brown photoshopped in. So
Cass at that
it's
Nas
so
too. That was
funny.
hilarious.
Um, Yeah, any other thoughts on AJ? I mean, I think my final thoughts, like I said, we've really had a pretty damn good there was some ESPN article, and it was saying, like, most to least improved teams this offseason, and it had us, like, 31st as if, like, we didn't improve our team. I'm like, I feel like we had a great offseason.
I thought we did too. I mean, we drafted a potential franchise starting tackle in the first round. Either he's going to play the right or maybe down the line the left side. I think you got like a game wrecking edge guy in Gabe Yaakis. You might have a starting tight end in a year or two, and then you got a really good edge player in Draymond Jones. You got a borderline Hall of Fame safety, and Kevin Byard coming in. You just traded for AJ Brown. You got Romeo Dobbs, who's we're having him for the prime of his career. Like that contract, those are his prime years. He's 26 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Jared
thought I
Tucker,
thought
yeah.
that
Like, they
yeah,
improved
the
the
Elijah
areas,
Vera Tucker, another one. Yep.
the Reggie Gilliam signing. I mean, they've
Yep.
improved a lot of the areas that I think we felt like, there was a lot of weeks we kept on during the 25 season. We were like, man, this team's winning, but I feel like they have massive flaws. And it feels like a lot of those flaws have been improved greatly. Like, I still like,
I
yeah,
would
it'd be great if
agree.
they had like a coverage linebacker, or like, there's going to be little nitpicks. Like, they could probably use another edge guy, but we'll get to that stuff. And then, but like, yeah, in general, I think I'm feeling pretty damn good about their chances of winning the AFC East again and being right near the AFC at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean they should. I mean, if they stay healthy, right? Like that's obviously number one in football, right? Of course, you got to be relatively as
Yeah,
healthy as you can be, but of
100%.
course. But if all that shakes out, like I don't know, I still think that they're a better team than Buffalo. I don't. I think Buffalo. I'm not a Sean McDermott guy. I thought it was probably time for them to try something else, and he lost them a lot of games. But he didn't lose them their last game. Their quarterback lost them their last game. And I don't believe in Joe Brady. I don't think he's going to be a successful head coach in this league. And I wasn't crazy about their draft. I wasn't like, I'm not crazy about the team they had. I like, obviously, Josh is great and James Cook is a great running back. Their offensive line's getting a little bit older. I just, I think that they're an uninspiring team right now. And I think we should still win the AFC East.
Yeah, they're a good example of how it can be really tough to basically keep improving your team when you have their quarterback on a huge contract. It's like if you don't
And you
really
don't
hit
draft
those
well.
draft
They haven't
picks, yeah,
drafted
like they
well.
got TJ Parker already, kind of like that pick, but not like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah. So I mean, and I'm feeling good about it. Let's transition to some of the other Pat stuff before we talk. Uh, we'll do a little draft, but Julian Hill on IR, so he's out for the season. Pat's tight end that they signed from the Dolphins, who's trying to be the blocking tight end. Definitely a little bummed about that one.
I'm pretty bummed about that one. Do you know what happened? What the injury was? Have they
They
said
haven't
it? I
said
haven't seen it.
anything, but so I wasn't sure because it was like an IR can return, but I guess if you go on IR in the offseason like this, you're just out for the season. So
Yeah,
something bad
he's done.
happened. Yeah, he's done.
Which means it's a serious injury. He must have like torn his ACL or
Yeah.
something crazy or whatever it is
Sucks to
because
have that happen. Just pay the kid a 3-year, $15 million contract. Like, they didn't give him chump change.
yeah, and the McDaniels offense, I've said it on this show before too, is that like we have to have that big blocking tight end. Like you think of like I always think of like 2018 seasons, like what or 2017 season when they had Dwayne Allen as that
Hmm.
big boy next to Gronkowski, and they would just maul people, him, James Devlin, and they were like a legit threat running the football all the time. Like that's a core staple. Like we need that. So that's a loss. I don't know. Do you think they maybe try and sign another free agent or do something else to get another big boy tight end in here to help out Hunter Henry and Reardon?
Yeah, I was listening to the Pats chat with Doug Hyde and Michael Hurley today, and they were saying they were going through like available tight ends. They were like, Will Disley's out there. Like, he's kind of like a blocking tight end option. And I wouldn't, if they can get these guys for cheap, like Jonnu Smith isn't really a blocking tight end, but he's
No.
still out there. He had like a good year last year. but he's
He's
not
like
that.
was sneaky good everywhere except the
Yeah, I
Patriots.
know, I know. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate if they brought in a veteran. Like it's like 'cause it's
But I want a blocker though. I don't
yeah,
like I mean John was like fine, but like I want a blocking tight end. We need to
yeah.
get one
That's
of
why
like
I
see if
thought
any one of those big boys are
I thought Will
available.
Dissly was interesting. It's like, are you gonna put Jack
Yeah.
Westover as your blocking tight end now?
No.
Yeah,
Dude, that I don't know what that kid does. Like
yeah,
he's not a football player,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Like I don't know. I think Tanner Arkin. What's his deal? I heard them mention somebody mentioned him. Did they just draft him? Yeah, he's an undrafted free agent.
Is CJ Drip still on this squad? What about
I
CJ
think
Drip? I just
CJ.
like his
I
name.
think he is. So this kid Tanner Arkin, 6'4", 260.
Okay.
I don't really know like what he's he's got to be a blocking tight end. He has 45, he had 13 catches this past season, 16 the year before in Illinois. He's got like 150, like 300 career receiving yards in college. So maybe
Okay, so he's a
that's
blocking tight
something why
end.
he's in camp. But yeah, it's like they got to figure out something there. It's like all right, you got Henry. I just think a veteran is it's like all right, you got Henry and Eli Raridan. You don't know if Raridan's going to be able to contribute in
Right away, right.
2026. Like, that position is kind of notorious for taking some time for some guys. So, especially
Yeah.
like Raridan's thing was that he's pretty raw. So,
He's a definitely a raw talent. Yeah, no doubt. I don't know how much we'll get from him this year. I kind of foresee him being the starting tight end in like 2 years, right? Like, the
yeah, like maybe
2027
hopefully
season.
20, yeah, hopefully in 27. But yeah, it'll be interesting because I mean, that's definitely kind of a bummer. We would talk about like, all right, you got Reggie Gilliam and this kid Hill. It's like you can really like bolster that run game, Vera Tucker. But so hey, injuries happen. This could happen week one, happen before the season. It
Right.
gives them some more time to prepare. At least maybe add somebody.
Right. You're right. Yeah. I mean, it's not gonna like, this isn't gonna make or break their season, but it's
No.
disappointing. Like you want to like, like I said, it's not chump change to give somebody a 3-year, $15 million deal. You want to kind of see that through a little bit and see what he can help you out do. So it's a little disappointing to have him get hurt when you're in shorts and fucking t-shirt.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I think has been notable these last couple of days, there's been some Kayvon Thibodeaux rumors floating around. So Thibodeaux was what? He was the 2022 fifth overall pick for the Giants. I think he's been
Yep.
a little underwhelming, I guess. He had 11 and a half sacks his second year in the league. This past year, he only had 2.5. He only played 10 games. He's been a little banged up. Um, there's obviously talent there. I think they're looking for like a fourth or a fifth. Now, my question is like, is that a team that you could do like a booty for Kayvon Thibodeaux trade?
Well, they just signed like 8 wide
Yeah,
receivers
they
the other
did.
day,
I
the
know. I saw
Giants.
that.
Yeah. So I don't
But
know if
like,
they would take
who they
Booty.
signed? They signed OBJ, Braxton
OBJ.
Berrios. Who was the third one?
Juju.
Okay, so with those guys,
Juju
I mean,
Smith.
those guys might all not make the roster.
It was funny, dude, when they were saying like, "Oh, OBJ's back with the Giants." They were showing all of his highlights, dude, and it was like during the Obama administration. It
I
was
was
so
in
long
college. Yeah, I
ago,
remember watching
dude.
that catch my senior year of college. Like he has not
Yeah,
been relevant for.
he's our age, bro. He's the
Yeah,
same age as
yeah.
us.
He
I
and
don't.
he's had all
I
these. So they
don't
have Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, Darnell Mooney. I mean, it's like an okay group. Oh, they did draft Malachi Fields. It's like I don't know if that's necessarily if they want Booty, but I also would like if you could give up like a fifth round pick and bring in Thibodeaux. Like I think that'd be a good pickup. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, me too, right? Like, and you have to remember, I think in the NFL, position dependent, but I would say 80% of the time in the NFL, this is just my opinion, how successful you are is dependent upon where you're drafted. I think Harbaugh is going to turn the Giants around, but in this kid's career so far, they've been a loser
Hmm.
organization. The Giants have been one of the worst teams in the NFL since the last 10, 15 years, right? They have been Loserville. And it's like, okay, when you're being coached by a loser head coach, you're in a bad program, dude. Like, sometimes you need to just get out and like break free, get somewhere new. Like, he obviously has potential. You don't go fifth in the draft for being some guy rolling through town. Like, he obviously can play. He's shown flashes. Now, the only thing is, if I'm the Patriots, I'm saying, all right, we'll do it. I'll give you a fourth, but you're taking on most of his salary for 20 because it's like a 14 something because they have his
Oh,
option or whatever. So I'm
yeah.
like, that's fine, but I'll give you a fourth round pick, but you're taking on most of the salary, and I'm just gonna take on like 2 million. You're taking on 12, and we'll give you the fourth.
Yeah, it's I just think that, like, that's what position where you can never have enough guys there, and it's like we saw it with Chase on, where sometimes these guys would go hot, like, and Chase on wasn't drafted 5th, he was drafted, like, 21st, whatever, but sometimes
Still
these
a high pick.
yeah, sometimes these edge rush kids, like, they like any position, you just take some time, the kid's still only 25 years old, so, that'll be interesting.
And I think Vrabel would, do well
Yeah,
with it. Like, I think, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, he comes into this environment, dude, he's like, you know, he sees, like, all these leaders that they got in this team, he sees the quarterback, the coach, all that shit, he'll be like, "No, I can work here, I can play here," and he'll be playing for a contract too, right? He wants to get that
yeah.
big, big payday.
Yeah, yeah, I'm all in on that idea. I think that's like, and if it could be Booty, obviously that'd be great. Because if it's like they feel like they don't Booty surplus right now. I mean, I think they'll probably bring Booty into camp. You never know, you get an injury in camp or anything. Like, you know, he if
Yeah, I
he's
was
your
gonna say, let's
three,
talk Booty a little
he could
bit.
have a great season if he's your three.
I was gonna say, let's talk Booty a
Yeah,
little bit because, like, the general consensus, like, you know, me and my friends chatting is like that. He's like not on the team anymore. I'm like, whoa,
yeah,
let's not just. I'm not just donating Kayvon Booty. I'm not just giving him away. Like, this is a guy who's gotten better every year he's been in the league.
hmm
Last year, they only threw him the ball 40 times. He caught 33 of them. He had 17 yards a clip at a catch, and he had 6 touchdowns. His touchdown won them the divisional game against Houston. Like, he's a good player,
oh
dude. I don't
yeah.
want to just give up on him. Like, I want to keep him if we can find a way to keep him. If they like he has a good year for them, and then they lose him in free agency, okay, that's fine. Like, you can't be afraid to lose someone in free agency just to trade them for a 6th round pick, a 5th round pick in July. That's
Or
dumb.
you get the comp pick too if he
Yes,
walks.
exactly.
Yeah, you
You'll
get
get
the
the
third
comp
round
pick.
pick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah. I think that's my thing. Is like if they're just gonna give him away for a 5th, I don't really understand that. If you can get Kayvon Thibodeaux like that, that's something that makes a little bit more sense. Like, hey, we got surplus at receiver. We could use another talented edge guy. Like, we can make that swap because, like, it's gonna somebody in that receiver room is gonna be a little unhappy. I guess is kind of where we're at. Like, obviously you got the two guys they brought in. You got Booty. Hollins, I imagine, is still gonna play a part of this team. Like, he was pretty damn solid last year.
yeah,
Kyle Williams, Chisholm, Douglas. Out of Chisholm and Douglas, one of those guys is certainly not going to make the roster. It's sneaky.
I'd much rather keep Booty and tell Pop Douglas, see you
Oh
later.
yeah, me too. No, I don't. I'm not a huge fan of Pop Douglas.
Me neither.
Ever since the Steelers game when he didn't get that first down, I was just like, I'm not. I'm all set with him and being like a. I just don't see it with him being like a stud. He's too little.
No. Maybe he's like a guy who's on an NFL roster if you don't have a deep room, but we have a deep room. I would honestly take Efton Chisholm over him. I think he's the worst receiver that we got on our team. Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of over Pop Douglas. I don't need him anymore. He does nothing for
And
me.
then there was some. What was the kid's? There was some kid who came in at minicamp and was having a really good showing. What was his Dick something Dixon? I think we named off the. There was some undrafted rookie they have who was getting some hype pretty early on at the minicamp stuff. So yeah, Kyle Dixon, um,
Where's he from? Mikey.
Culver's.
Up, G?
What's up, Mike?
What's up, bro?
they so Thanks for hopping on. Yeah, we're just kind of getting to the end of the Pats chat stuff before we get into a little draft. We'll be talking doing some booty talk.
Oh shit, I forgot we were drafted today. That's exciting.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like it's a pretty crowded room. So that's why the booty type of trade, if you're getting a player like Kayvon Thibodeaux, is like exciting. But what would you think about a trade like that, Mike? We talked. There were some rumors that the Pats might be sniffing around on
Booty for Kayvon Thibodeaux?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Why?
I'm just not a huge fan of Kayvon Thibodeaux. I think he's a little undersized. I mean, he definitely helps with our like pass rush need, but I just think Booty's the better player. I know Thibodeaux has like the draft pedigree and everything like that, but I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan.
Yeah.
I'd rather keep Booty than get him, but from a need perspective, it makes a lot of sense, but I'm just attached to Booty too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was saying I'd rather do it for a pick. I don't want to. I don't want to do a swap Booty for Thibodeaux. I'd like if it's like a 4th or a 5th round pick. Maybe it's a conditional 4th if like he's hit certain criteria. It's a 4th round pick. I'm good with that. I'll do that. No
Yeah.
problem. I want to keep Booty though. I think he can play, and he's gotten better every year. I think he's younger than Drake Maye. Like he's around
24,
the same
just
age.
turned 24.
Okay, so he's a little bit older than Drake Maye by a couple months, but like he's a young guy. Like he's only going to get better. I want to keep him. I want him to work with Romeo Dobbs and with AJ Brown.
Yeah, he could have a great season with facing a lot of single coverage this year. But yeah, any more? Mike, quick reaction to AJ before we come to the draft.
I mean, welcome, Mr. Brown. I feel like I'm so excited. I feel like he's perfect receiver, just like short, intermediate, deep game, covers all the bases, plays inside and out. And one thing that we kept talking about at the draft, Brew, is like we need some guys who are actually like explosive with the ball in his hand. I don't think he was doing it as much in Philly as he was in Tennessee, but he used to be a yak monster and just like a guy that is incredibly hard to take down, and he's going to take slants to the house. And that's something the Pats did not have last year. So like Diggs was a little limited on that front. So like I think he fills a need that we had big time, and this is exciting. I'm pumped.
He's now one of the best players on the team. Like he's one of the 5 best guys on the roster. He's probably closer to 1 than 5.
Who's 2? So there's Drake,
Gonzalez.
Oh, Gonzalez. Yeah.
I would say AJ Brown's like the 3rd or 4th best player on this team.
Milt.
Who? Sorry, I'm trying to think of guys off the top of my head.
Big Milt is fucking nasty, dude.
Oh, Big Milt.
Yeah, it's probably those couple. Both from Philly too. They're reunited.
Yeah.
A couple Philly boys. Yeah, AJ's got a lot of friends. He's got a lot of friends. He's got his old pal Kevin Byard. I think Kevin Byard are like real tight.
They work out together. Yeah. They work out together. Yeah.
And he got Landry, Harold Landry too, another Titan friend. So he's got his boys. Picked up coach from marriage counseling the other day.
I feel like we're kind of sleeping on Byard too. He was an All-Pro last year.
Yeah, I
not
agree.
A Pro Bowler, an All-Pro player.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
That's a pretty big deal.
That's what I'm saying to G. There was some lists on ESPN. It was like most to least improved NFL rosters, and they had the Patriots like second to last. It was like, I feel like that's had a hell of an offseason. Like, this was pre-Brown trades. So they weren't including that, but I feel like they've had a pretty damn solid offseason. Obviously, the Brown trade kind of pushed it over the top.
Yeah, they made such smart decisions this offseason. I feel like they were. I feel like I would give their offseason an A.
Yeah, and I don't know what they were coming at. Like, they've really improved a lot of the areas that we felt like they needed to improve going into the offseason. So,
yeah, and no stupid signings,
my thing is like, what else would they have wanted the Patriots to do this offseason? That's just my retort back.
Yeah, it's like make Will Campbell better, like, which might happen anyways. Like, there could be development there. But yeah, let's so our plan for the second half of this episode, we've been talking about doing this for a while, some like fun Pats theme stuff. We're gonna draft the greatest Patriots since the Brady Belichick era onwards. I did not have enough time to prepare for this today. I'm gonna say that right now. But I don't know if you guys have lists. If you just want to, I know Mike said you didn't really prep for it either. But you know
I
what?
don't need to prep. This was my life, dude. This is all my memory, dude.
I know, but there's so many guys, man. I was going through it. I was like, it's tough to like putting them in rankings. I guess is what makes it kind of tricky.
Sure.
You know?
Is this, Brew? This is just our favorites, though, right? These are our personal favorites, or how are we doing this exactly?
It's a good question. I mean, it's a combination of like favorite, best.
Yeah.
I probably should have clarified that better. We'll just say it's like I was saying to you earlier, G. It's like, is it best career? Is it best peak? Is it like, what about guys at a couple year run? But it's like, who are the best members of this franchise over this whole time frame, I guess. All right. So I'll do a little random draft generator right now.
This is tough.
Do we get to draft Brady or no?
Yeah. First pick's definitely going to be Tom Brady. Let's see. I can't get. I'll let you.
You don't mean that, Mike.
Mike, I'll let you. Mike, I'll let you go first because it will snake.
I'm picking my favorite player. Fuck, I'm just gonna take Brady.
Yeah, you can't not take Brady.
what do I say about Tom Brady? The fact that like I'm pretty sure he's like responsible for like my own personal self-confidence and like my feeling that the world revolves around me and that like everything's going to be okay because there's a man out there that like can do anything he puts his mind to in service of my own needs. Um
Well said.
that's kind of how I feel about Tom Brady.
Dude, that almost made me cry, Mike. That was beautiful. Like, it just got a little misty here in Medford, dude. That was beautiful, man.
He's like responsible for like I feel like 75% of my friendships. I feel like half of my friendships are like connecting on like the majesty of the Patriots. And like he pretty much made that happen.
Yeah, childhood hero. No matter what was going on in your life, bad,
Yeah.
good, and different, every Sunday for 20 years, Tom Brady would make you forget about that shit for like 3 hours, and you were in heaven.
Yeah. And not only that, but like after the season, just like the season, like if you won a Super Bowl, the whole next year is like amazing. Like it just like resonates with you.
We had the greatest
Yeah.
childhoods of anybody in the country has really ever had in like modern America of sports because of this guy. So I think it's all accurate. It's hard to argue any
I
of it.
I remember in 2001, kind of corny, but my older brother, while we were watching the Super Bowl, he was like, "This is like the perfect age for this to happen to anyone," and like I feel like from then until when it ended was just like that's like the meat of your like identity forming, and like the Patriots were just such a big part of that identity.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's the easy pick of the draft. Gee, what do you got? I'll let you go second.
Hard to follow that. I'm gonna go with the guy. No, I'm not gonna go him. I'll go with him later. I'm gonna go with my guy, Ty Law. I
Oh,
love me some Ty Law.
yeah.
One of my favorite athletes of all time. I'll never forget, I got his jersey for Christmas in 2003. Then he had the 3-interception game in the AFC Championship game against Peyton Manning a couple of weeks later, and I wore that jersey to school. I felt like the coolest kid on the block. Loved Ty Law, man. He was special.
You know, I met him a couple years ago. Took
No
a
shit,
shot
did you
with him.
really?
No way.
Dude, I was at my work. It was at our like company sales kickoff at the Encore, and like we had meetings all day, and then we're just like hanging out at the casino, and somebody's like, "Ty Law's over there." I'm like, "Ty Law's over there," and he's promoting his vodka brand like he was hammered. And I was like, "Yo, Ty," I was like a huge fan. And he was like, "Dude, I appreciate that so." He was like lit. He's like, "Yo," and like me and this other kid were like talking to him. He's like, "Let's go. We're going to like what's it called, like Fratelli's." He's like, "We're going to take some shots." And like he goes to the bar. He's like, "Yo, let me get my vodka," and like he pours us all shots. He was like too drunk to like really like have too much of a conversation with. It was wicked cool though. I got a picture with him. It was cool. He was a super nice
sweet.
guy. But yeah, I think there was two guys I think that you could have went for the second pick. I'm going or the second. Yeah, I'm going.
Just what Ty Law, do you feel like this is like a random thing that I've always felt about him? I don't know if it's actually valid, so I want to ask you guys. Do you feel like he has the same aura as Paul Pierce? For some reason, the like just like what they
Kinda.
look like and how they carry themselves, I don't know what it is. Like in my mind, like I group them together.
It is kind of similar. It's like old, kind of like little like chubby, like more athletic, chubby guy for some reason.
Yeah, yeah, and like their person that I don't know. I don't know what it is. They're kind of like
'Cause they're
gangsters
both
too.
sneaky booze bags? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, like, but even before I knew they were booze bags, like I always kind of like equated them together. I don't know why. And I love Paul Pierce and I love Ty Law. So
Yeah.
So I never thought of that, but that's on point.
That's funny, Mike.
So I got the snake picks. First pick, I'm going Gronk, probably my favorite football player of all time. I just what an absolute legend. I mean, what else can you really say about Gronk? Probably the funnest to watch Patriot we've had, I think, on a game-to-game basis. He's doing stuff see nobody else do, you know?
I mean, he wasn't real. I mean, as John Gruden once said, This guy's 6'6". He's 275 pounds. He blocks like a tackle and he runs like a deer. And I'm thinking, where the hell does Bill Belichick find these guys? I mean, he wasn't real.
Yeah, he was. Dude, I was so good. G. Yeah, he was just so fun, man. Like the Gronk era, like at his peak, he was the best. And my second pick with the snake, I'm gonna go Richard Seymour. Always love Richard Seymour.
Wow.
I mean, look at him.
I
Like,
did
he
not
was
see that
first
coming.
team All Pro 2003, 2004, and 2005. Second team in 06. 3-time Super Bowl champ. Really like the first stalwart draft pick of the Bill Belichick era. So, I mean, honestly, I feel like that was kind of an easier pick. Obviously, there's some other guys coming up, but any thoughts on Seymour?
I loved Richard Seymour. I mean, he was an all-pro at multiple positions. The first year we won the Super Bowl, we were a 4-3 defense. He played defensive tackle. Then we changed to a 3-4, and he became that old school, like 3-4 defensive end. He could do everything, man. He was an animal. I loved Richard Seymour. I was so sad when we traded him to the Raiders.
Yeah, good trade though.
It was
What did we get for him?
Nate Solder.
Oh,
Yeah, and he just
yeah,
kind of.
that
I
was a
mean, I
good
think he had
trade.
one really good year with Oakland, but it wasn't as elite. G, you got the next pick.
Okay, man, this is hard because I got there's so many guys that I
I
love.
know.
I know.
I'm gonna go with the squirrel. I'm gonna go with Julian Edelman. One
Damn.
of the toughest SOBs to ever play in the National Football League. I don't think we win any of our last 3 Super Bowls without Julian Edelman, man. He was the Iron Man. He was a special player. He was the punt returner. He was Wes Welker's, backup, and he ended up, even though I don't care what his stats were, he ended up being a better Patriot than Wes Welker was. He had an awesome career. I love Jules.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like his playoff performances are legendary from like Ravens divisional games, Seahawks, Falcons, Rams. Like he's just he's my favorite player by far. And the fact like his career trajectory is so fun. Like we draft this like former quarterback in the 6th round who's like playing defense and then like is just kind of like taking snaps behind Welker, and then he blossoms into that. I mean, what a great story. And I feel like he was always like a little underrated because everybody was like didn't see him as like a number 1 receiver, but I felt like he was just right up there with the best guys in the league, like in terms of importance.
He's an
Yep.
incredible football player, and I don't think anybody on this list has embraced being a Boston guy quite like him either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny story, quick story about it. I met Julian Edelman about 12 years ago. It was right after they won their first Super Bowl. If you guys remember the Whiskey Priest bar in Boston, it's now closed. I was coming out of the bathroom and him and Michael
Whiskey
Human
Priest.
Manui were walking Chandler Jones down the stairs. So picture that sight, how
No way.
little, yes, dead ass. They're carrying Chandler Jones big ass down the stairs, and I'm shit faced. And I just see him. I go, Chandler, what's up, dude? He's like, starts boarding. He's like, what's up, man? And Elman goes, dude, shut the fuck up. We're trying to get him home. And I just started laughing. I walked away. So
That is so funny.
That's unreal. Wow.
Just Julian Edelman against the Seahawks literally like gets me jacked up to play football. Like I can
Yeah.
run through a wall right now just thinking about it.
Mike,
he survived the Cam Chancellor hit.
you got the 2 snake
Yeah,
picks
that
there,
was
Mike.
all right.
We're gonna do 7
So are we
picks each,
going
by the way.
better
That's
or
the
we going
deal.
wait, are we doing best or are we going favorites?
A
Combo.
little bit of both.
All right. I'm going Dante Hightower.
Yeah.
I feel like in terms of the second Super Bowl run, I felt like he was he the best player on their defense? I think so. He certainly made the biggest plays, and
Made the biggest plays for
just
sure.
there's nothing better than just having like a monster middle linebacker, and he also could rush the passer too. Um, Dante Hightower, like, put him on my board.
How about your next pick?
want to go back in the day. I'm actually going to go Brewski. Uh, um, the other linebacker, just like in terms of like Patriots images, his interception in the snow and his like little like shimmy that he did into the end zone to me just like defines what that defense was about in that first half of the dynasty. And also I felt like he just like had an energy and aura about him of just like a leader and a patriot. And one of the only games that I've gone to, I feel like I've been to like 6 or 7 games, but one of them was his first game back from the heart surgery, and
Wow.
the energy in the stadium was out of control. Julian Edelman was actually playing safety that day, so it was like watching him play defense. But the energy in the stadium was out of control, and Brewski was like, I feel like that first dynasty, kind of like similar reasons for Hightower, he was kind of playing that role.
The back-to-back middle linebackers. Yeah, I feel like Brewski was really like the face of that defense. Maybe not the best
Yeah,
player. And I don't know if I'd ever say like in a given season. There probably were like a few given seasons where Hightower was the best guy in that defense. Like, but you had like your years where you had like Stephon Gilmore, defensive player of the year. You had Revis. You had some amazing Chandler Jones years. But Hightower was just an absolute rock on those defenses.
yeah, he was just an animal. Actually, when I went to I did go to the divisional playoff round against the Titans. That was like 10 below, and we brought a sign that said "Brewskis are better cold." But that's just
Nice.
G, who you got?
Oh man, these are so hard because I got so many guys. I'm gonna go with Big Daddy in the middle, Vince Wilfork, the most
oh, what a
underrated
pick!
defensive lineman of all time. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Just made, I mean, he came into this team. He won a championship as a rookie coming in from the U, and like played on a great end of a dynasty team. And then he waited, then when it was his team, right? When he was like the top guy, they had some tough losses in those games. And then his last year with the team, to win the Super Bowl and go out that way and against the Seahawks was awesome. The premier defensive tackle in the National Football League for a decade, Vince Wilfork.
Dude, it's funny. I
Yep.
have my I have my list, and all my top 8 have been the first 8 picks, which I feel like
Really?
I mean, I
Wow.
guess I almost feel like we just hit like a tier, and now we got like another tier. But yeah, I got Will Fork jersey. Will Fork was the friggin' man. Just a
Yeah.
great Patriot. Great
I
He
feel
was
like
guy.
awesome.
I feel like he's the prototype of like the nose tackles. Like if you're drafting a nose tackle in the draft, like you're thinking like, how do we get it Vince Wilfork? Like he's at the top of that list.
Yeah, he was the only guy. So he was, besides Brady, he was part of both dynasties.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really? The only one?
Gotta be, right?
Who
Yeah,
won
I
a
guess.
championship with the
10
early
years
guys
apart.
and the
Yeah,
second guys?
yeah.
Yeah,
He was a
absolutely.
rookie in 04.
Wow.
He was a rookie in 04, and then it was his last year in 2014.
I remember his game against the Ravens in the AFC Championship when we lost to the Giants. I remember he played out of his mind that game.
Yeah,
And
he
for
beat the
like a
shit out of Marshall Yonda. Marshall Yonda was the best guard in football then, and he absolutely kicked his ass.
yeah, that was
Good
awesome.
memory, Mike.
Yeah.
My first pick here, I'm gonna go Devin McCourty. Just another legendary Patriot. I mean, this guy, 3-time Super Bowl champion, so 3-time second team All Pro. But again, like just leader, the guy who's giving those pump up speeches in those NFL films, videos, making big
Mhm.
play after big play year after year. Played corner at the start of his career, moves to safety. I mean, another guy too, he's in the media. I love the guys in the media who are like, I'm a Patriot. And I like, especially with the
Yeah.
the way Brady's not doing that. Like, the way, like when Brewski's talking Pats on the ESPN, he's so biased and he is not afraid. He is not
Yeah.
afraid to show that bias. And
He's saying like he's still on the team. He's like, yeah, we got to do a good job, dude.
Yeah,
That's
no, exactly.
hilarious.
Like most guys become analysts to kind of like let that go. Especially in football, I
Yeah.
feel like there's not much of that. And the guys who are part of the dynasties, especially, who never played anywhere else, like which are like a Brewski and a McCourty, are just like, no, like we're Patriots, which you gotta love. Next pick's tough, man. I got a bunch of guys like it could go. You know what? I'm gonna go Randy Moss, just for the peak, and he's probably the only guy we're gonna pick today who didn't win a Super Bowl. But I mean, talk about just like one of the greatest football players of all time. Another guy, just one of the funnest to watch. That 07 season, breaking records. Yeah, like, if we were the luckiest
Oh
sons of
my
bitches
God,
to ever live, if he had caught the pass to end the Super Bowl 42, it would have been the greatest moment of all time. But shout out to Randy Moss.
Randy was my next pick. I love Randy. I'm wearing his jersey right now because the AJ Brown ain't up on the pro shop yet. So that was going to be my next one. Love Randy. Great guy. Man, when I went to Brady's retirement thing at Gillette 2 years ago, obviously Tom got great cheer. Same with Bill. But one of the loudest ones was for Randy Moss, man. And he was so overcome by emotion, dude. He was crying. I might have been crying, dude. It was a great moment. I love Randy Moss. I'm gonna go with my boy Rodney Harrison next. He was like a tone setter. I don't know if we win those second championships without Rodney. We needed that enforcer guy, really like the backbone of the secondary to go along with Ty Law. He was unbelievable, man. He's another guy. He should be in Canton. He was a hell of a player.
Yeah,
I
two-time
feel like
first-team
when you
All-Pro.
listen to Bill talk about him, I feel like he talks most glowingly about Rodney Harrison and just like how good of a player he was.
Yeah. I remember he had 5 interceptions. The last Super Bowl they won, that postseason, I think he had 5 interceptions in the postseason. He was unbelievable.
That is insane, actually. Oh
I'm
my
on his
God.
Wikipedia right
Yeah,
now.
and
Yeah,
he capped off the Eagles one too.
He had 2 against the Eagles, and he had a Mick pick against Ben. He had at least 3 or 4.
yeah, the pick six, 87-yard pick six against Ben.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Unreal. All right,
There's
Mike, you got 2.
All right. Let's see what we got here. All right, I gotta go with Troy Brown.
Oh.
Let's go pick.
Troy Brown, I think, is like the coolest. I think he's probably like maybe like it's like Ty Law, Troy Brown in terms of like coolest Patriots of all time in my mind. When I think of like Gil Santos announcing games, I just like imagined him like announcing touchdowns to Troy Brown or like big plays to Troy Brown. The coolest play he ever made was against the Chargers when Brady threw the pick and he friggin' stripped the guy. And we beat a Chargers team that we had no business beating. And yeah, like the 2001 Super Bowl DVD was like my favorite, is like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Dude, I've seen it so many times, Mike. I'm with you, dude. I've seen it at least 50 times.
And Troy Brown is just like littered throughout that DVD. Like he was just making big play after big play. So I'm going Troy Brown. Oh,
you got 2.
Next guy. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna go.
These picks are tough.
I'm gonna go this guy because I actually think he doesn't get enough credit. I'm gonna go Wes Welker. I think Wes Welker was like incredible while he was here. I'm so upset with him that he did not catch that ball. I also think it was in Super Bowl against the Giants. I also think it was a little bit Brady's fault. Like he was wide open and Brady threw kind of like this weird like lob to him. But Wes Welker like put his body on the line every week, and he was, I don't know, I felt like he was uncoverable. Like 3rd and short, Wes Welker was coming through.
Yeah, it's a shame him and Moss both never got a Super Bowl here. But and I think the way Welker definitely left a bit of a sour taste in people's mouths, where he's not like as beloved. Kind of for like obvious reasons.
Was that because of Bill? Why did he like?
Why did? Yeah,
I know like Amendola.
Oh, that was a Bill thing. Bill was done with him. Bill, after he dropped that pass in the Super Bowl, and then the next year he wanted more money, and Bill had to pay him on the franchise tag. Bill was so upset. He actually tried to the year that we paid him on the franchise tag in 2012.
He got
Bill
suspended, right?
No, that was later with Denver. Bill tried to
Oh.
replace him out of spite. He started Edelman the first 2 games.
I
And
remember that. I do remember
and then
that.
Edelman broke his foot.
Yeah. I was thinking when he got suspended against the Jets, he kept saying feet because Rex Ryan had
Like little foot
Yeah,
soldiers.
yeah.
yeah.
Bill is such a spiteful bastard, man. G, who you got?
That actually reminds me of a guy.
Actually, before I go with my pick, Troy Brown story real quick. I met him at Caparelli's in Wakefield. He was doing an autograph signing at Caparelli's.
Caparelli's?
I don't remember
Yeah,
What
that.
the
in
fuck?
And
Damn.
I was, dude, so me and Troy
I used to
Brown, the
work
Holla
there.
Bros, were in the Wakefield paper. We were the front page of the Wakefield Daily Item meeting Troy Brown. And I was wearing my Troy Brown jersey, and I was like maybe in college. And I was pretty stoned when I showed up. And then I went up and I went to go like shake his hand. And he dapped me up, and he stank of weed. His eyes were so red.
Dude.
And I was like, "What's up, Troy?" And he's like, "I'm doing good, dog." And he was so blitzed. Love Troy Brown.
That was like around when you worked there too, Mike, no?
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, wait,
It was like
was I like
2011, 2012.
Yeah, so we used to call him Capo because he worked for Cavarelli's.
Oh,
That's
next
crazy.
guy, man. I'm gonna go with Corey Dillon. I loved
Ooh.
Corey Dillon. Great running back. Loved watching him play. I always thought he was so misunderstood when he was on the Cincinnati Bengals, and like people always like, oh, he's throwing his pads in the stands, and he's like, no, dude, they're just a loser franchise. He just needed to come play for Bill and play with Tom and learn how to win a little bit. And he was great here, man. What a football player Corey Dillon was.
He was a
And
stud.
I thought that was so cool that we won the Super Bowl and we're like, yeah, our running game wasn't good enough. Let's just go trade for Corey Dillon.
Yeah.
And he like led the league in rushing.
So
Dude,
physical.
There's so many guys that you can go on. Like he wasn't on my list, but it's a good pick. There's some guys here I'm surprised we haven't picked yet too.
I know, I know.
There's one guy I had higher up, but I'm just excited. I'm more excited to talk about other guys, I guess. I'm
I
first
have
pick.
2 guys.
I'm going Coach Mike Vrabel. I mean, this guy was an absolute stud. One of the great free agent signings we've ever had. A winner, catching touchdowns, and now he's coaching, which I feel like has to be part of this a little bit. He brought us to the Super Bowl. You know, he's been the news a little bit, but he's building a hell of a football team here again in New England. He's got us back into relevance. So, love Coach Mike Vrabel. In my second pick, or any thoughts from? I mean, I didn't think we talk about Vrabel enough on this podcast, but
I was gonna take him next. I thought I was gonna maybe sneak him in
Yeah.
last. I don't know. I thought maybe because he's coach now, you boys might have forgotten
Yeah.
about him, so I can get him later. But I love Coach.
My next pick, which I was thinking about the other day, is Malcolm Butler, who I absolutely love.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, talk about the greatest sports fan moment in history. Like, probably actually in history, not just New England sports, was obviously the pick in the Super Bowl. He ended up becoming like a really good player for us. I think was it 16? He ended up being like an All-Pro.
Yeah.
And then 17. Like, are we ever gonna find out what the hell happened in that Super Bowl?
No, never.
I've always stood by. Like, I remember that season. He just wasn't that good. Like 17 season, he had a really bad season. All that being said, starting him, like dressing him for the game, and then just saying, actually, you're not playing a snap, is just the strangest thing that's really ever happened. Like, we're just never gonna know.
I remember. I truly believe that Malcolm Butler, after the game, he was wicked emotional. And I remember watching this interview, and he was like, "They just gave up on me. They gave up on me," and he kept like saying that. And I actually think that's what happened. Like, I think everybody's like looking for some like conspiracy. I think like Bill just like literally gave up on him and said like, "You've played like you didn't." I remember because he didn't play well the week in the AFC Championship. I feel like Bill literally just gave up on him, and everybody's trying to like figure out why. And that's what I think what it is. And now it is so ridiculous that you give up on like a guy who like he started every single game, and then you're getting literally like raped in the passing game, and you can't put this guy in. Like
Dude, they had
that
like
is
Jordan
insane.
Richards chasing like Nelson Aguilar around, like getting just
Yeah.
torched. It was like, what are we doing? Like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gee, you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, I've been letting you boys spin. I mean, Malcolm Butler played 96% of the snaps that year. We decided to sit him in the biggest game of the year. I mean, like you said, you had Jordan Richards out there. Like, that's the thing. It's like, right, yeah, maybe Malcolm wasn't playing. And you're right, he did get torched against Jacksonville the week before in the AFC Championship. He didn't play well. But I'll
Still.
take my chances with Malcolm Butler in a Super Bowl against Jordan Richards, who, if I'm running 10 slants on Jordan Richards, I'm catching 8 balls and I'm taking 2 to the house. I mean, he sucked.
It was so
Yeah.
bizarre that we
He
just
was
don't
so
know what
bad.
happened there. Yeah, it's like this. Like, who's gonna step up in a Super Bowl? I don't know. Maybe Malcolm Butler.
Maybe the guy who won you one a couple of years ago, you old fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was coaching malpractice. Bill screwed us on that game. He screwed us.
It's a shame we
I was
weren't
also
podcasting back then.
I was also rewatching 2014, and there were plays before. Well, he was involved in the Jermaine Kearse catch. Like he's the one that actually tipped the ball up when Jermaine Kearse came down with it. But there were like big third downs that Malcolm Butler made in that game too. That I was like, oh wow, this guy. Like it wasn't just like a one play thing that game.
No, he
That
was
game.
awesome. He ended up being
Yeah.
so good. I'm all right.
Yeah, after they benched Kyle Arrington. Yeah.
We'll keep this going.
Yeah.
G, who you got next?
Kyle Arrington.
How many do I got left?
So I
Bruce?
said we'll do 7 picks. I mean, I wouldn't hate doing 8 if we want, but this is your 6th pick.
I can keep going.
I know.
Forever.
We'll do
Okay.
8 picks. We'll do 8 rounds, and then we'll call it.
We'll do 8?
Yeah,
okay.
we're in an
8,
hour.
Okay. All right. What direction do I want to go here? You know, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna show some love to the O-line. I'm gonna go with my boy Matt
Who's on my
Light, number
list.
72. That's why I wore number 72 when I played football, because of Matt Light. I loved him. I thought he was a great player. You know, in that draft 2001, we drafted our first 2 picks were Richard Seymour and Matt Light. Those are, you got your franchise Hall of Fame defensive end tackle in Seymour, and you got an all Pro Bowl left tackle in Matt Light. He was a great leader, protected Brady's blind side for a decade. He was a really good football player, and he's a funny bastard too.
Yeah, Belichick was raving about him on Part of My Take a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mike, who you got? You got 2.
I think I'm gonna go. I mean, I gotta go with Willie McGinnis.
Yeah, he's
I
the
mean,
guy.
I can't believe Willie McGinnis has not been picked right now.
He was way
I
higher on
think
my list. I just didn't want to pick him.
He's responsible for my favorite, like one of my favorite plays in Patriots history is the goal line stand against Indy. And I just picture him running down the field with his arm up, like that memory is etched in my brain. I feel like he was just like a certified superstar for that, for that defense. So I'm going with Big Willie first.
Who's next?
Which guy do I want? I'm gonna go with James White.
It's a good pick.
Of all like the little, of all like, because that position has just been so fun for the Patriots between James White, Kevin Falk, Danny Woodhead, Shane Vereen. I feel like it's tough for me to choose because I love all those guys, but I'm picking James White just because. I mean the Atlanta game, but I also felt like he kind of, I don't know, watching his ascension was really cool. Like when he first came on the team, I remember Adam, you were talking about him, and you were like talking about like this sweet feet kid from Wisconsin, and then next thing I know, he's like catching like 10 balls a game, and like even after the Atlanta Super Bowl, I remember there was one year he was like pretty dominant in like fantasy football, and like for a Patriots running back to be dominant in fantasy football is like really tough to do.
One of the great nicknames, James Sweet Feet White. So fitting too. And I'm so happy he got scored a touchdown to win the Super Bowl. He's an awesome guy,
same.
dude. He always goes on the podcast I like Off the Pike with Brian Barrett, and he's he's like coaching Illinois, but he's still like, nah, I got to talk Pats every game. He's just such a nice. He just comes off as such a good dude in that.
Yeah, I mean, I love James White, all time great Pat. I'm gonna go with the guy who kind of started this whole thing. I'm gonna go with Adam Vinatieri, the
Oh
greatest kicker
shit.
in the history of the National Football League. You were saying, Mike, something about like, when I hear Troy Brown, I think of Gil Santos. When
Yeah.
I think of Adam Vinatieri, I think
Yeah.
of Gil Santos. Hey, boats a 48-yard field goal. Can the game is over? That's like I think of that.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Adam V.
It's like the voice of my childhood. I mean, him in the snow. It's just like it's the greatest like scene in the history of the NFL is Adam Vinatieri booting a 45-yard field goal in a blizzard.
We were so young that like I thought it was cool that his name was Adam when he was doing his thing. Like,
I like that he was Italian.
Yeah. He's an Italian guy named Adam. There's not a ton of them. There's a few here I could go with, man. I mean, I'm gonna go Kevin Falk to the first pick. Like, that's just.
I fucking love
just
that
a
guy.
Legendary Patriot, man. Like one of the greats.
Yeah.
Like that position that they kind of made a thing. Like he was really the first one. Just so dependable, so clutch, so Belichick. Like just so early. One of the real like representatives of that team.
Yeah.
Man, there's a few guys we could go. Like I feel like you could go like 10 each, but I'm gonna go Drake Maye with my second pick. We're talking post 2000 Patriots. I mean, this kid just came second place in the MVP award, took him to the Super Bowl. That's my guy, man. I mean, I feel like he kind of doesn't belong on this list in a way, but I love Drake Maye, and I can't wait to see what he does this season.
Is it blasphemy to say he's not there yet for me?
No, that's
he's
fair.
Not,
that's fair.
He's not like indoctrinated yet.
Dude, I don't know if he's in my top like 50 Patriots right now, and I love Drake, man. I think he's gonna have a great career. He's got a long way to go, brother. And you got to hoist a Lombardi before you're sniffing this.
I mean, I thought last season he was so fun to watch. Like I thought it was such that season. As much as they didn't win the Super Bowl, it was such a guy. I thought it's a special run that we had. That I feel like he's warranted inclusion, but yeah, he's obviously got to waste. Like he's got to win something, can have a great long career here. But I wanted to mention him, but I'm leaving some guys on the table for sure. I'll let you make your last pick, G.
I'm gonna go with
one pick.
Yeah, last pick.
I'm gonna go with my guy here. I took the best kicker in the history of the league, and I'm gonna take the best special teams player in the history of the league. I'm gonna go with Matty Slater, Mr. Heads in overtime. Loved Matthew Slater. I don't know why. My friends tell me I'm bullshitting, but I swear when we won in the Atlanta Super Bowl, it was after Hightower forced the fumble and Alan Branch recovered it. There was a thing of like Matt Slater coming on the field, and he was like just jacked up celebrating with the guys. And I was like, I don't know why. When I saw Slater that fired up, I just felt good that we were going to come back and win that game. I don't know. He's just a good dude. He was obviously a great special teams player. Really good dude in the community. Gotta love Slate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's just Patriot. He's a guy, if he was in the media, he'd be talking about we all day.
Yeah.
Mike, last pick.
I'm gonna take two guys.
We're gonna go through some honorable mentions too.
No, you're gonna take one, Mike. You're not gonna take two.
I can't choose between these guys. Well, there's one guy that I know I should take. All right, fine. I'm gonna take Deion Branch.
Yeah, he was.
If I'm just going with like coolest guys on the team, Deion Branch is like one of the coolest guys ever. I feel like one of the only one of the only players to like figure out the outside receiver position, and like so much so that like we had to bring him back to do it again later. But Deion Branch is just like one of the coolest guys ever. Can I do my honorable mention guy?
Yeah, I'll go through a few I had too.
The guy that I wanted to pick too was David Patton. I feel like David Patton just like falls under people's. Wait, he died?
He passed?
Yeah, he did. Oh, he's been dead for like 5 years. Yeah, he got in a motorcycle accident.
I didn't know that. Maybe I did.
Yeah,
but
he
I
died
forgot.
like Labor Day weekend, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, he was a great.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make the mood down.
No,
I thought
no,
he wasn't with us.
It's sad. his touchdowns in the corner of the end zone in the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl are just like ingrained. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
ingrained in my mind. So I had to throw him in there. There's other receivers that I want
Yeah, I
to
got
shout
some
out,
honorables. I
but
got Stephon Gilmore, but easily could have picked. I mean, he won deep defensive player of the year. Chandler
yeah.
Jones had a really good run before he kind of went cuckoo.
Can I? One thing about Steph Gilmore. Why do you think we didn't pick him?
He was high on my. He was probably my next pick. It was, I don't know. He won one Super Bowl, and but he made two. He wasn't here that long.
I like Gilmore. I didn't love him.
Yeah,
I liked him. I didn't love him.
Yeah,
he wasn't here that long.
I thought like how good of a in terms of how good of a player he was definitely
he was
higher.
He
nasty.
feels like a guy who's
guys.
played for a bunch of teams. He wasn't necessarily like a Patriot. You know what I mean? He's just like a guy who's
That's what it
a
was.
player. He was a
He was a
bell.
mercenary.
Him as a player was great.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot. He's just like this list. What I was trying to do was like take Patriots, like my guys who were, you know what I mean? Like Gilmore he was like I treat him almost like a Revis. I loved Revis, but he was just like a hired gun, helped us win, great corner. But and that's who I would equate it to, right?
Like Jamie Collins I had is like on deep in the honorable mention, but he was a Patriot.
Collins.
Pat Chung was a great Patriot.
Oh, that was my boy.
Joe
He tweeted
Tooney
me.
is now he's become kind of a mercenary guy. I had Daniel Graham on the list.
Daniel
Graham.
What about
Hernandez?
What about Hernandez?
No.
Ty Warren.
I loved Hernandez. I mean, not the person, but
yeah, I mean, you could go on and on. This was fun though, man. We got to do another one like I'm thinking we could do like the final list just to name Mike went Brady, Hightower, Brewski, Troy Brown, Wes Welker, Willie McGinnis, James White, Deion Branch. G had Ty Law, Julian Edelman, Vince Wilfork, Rodney Harrison, Corey Dillon, Matt Light, Adam Vinatieri, and Matthew Slater. I had Gronk, Richard Seymour, Devin McCourty, Randy Moss, Coach Mike Vrabel, Malcolm Butler, Kevin Falk, and Drake Maye. Yeah, I think we should do like.
Can I shout out two other guys? Just honorable mentions. David Gibbons. And I don't know why I like this guy a lot, but I loved Lil Phil Dorsett for some reason.
He is by far the last guy who belonged on this list.
Well, he had a big catch against Kansas City.
I know plenty of guys had a big catch.
Yeah, but
he had
that
a nice
was
study before halftime. You're right, Mike. I do remember that.
And he was just like always on the team for like I don't know. I was a fan of Lil Phil.
Before we go, and I think at some point, next couple of weeks, we should do like favorite Patriots games of the past 25 years, like best.
Oh shit!
Like that, we could do 5 picks each, maybe. I'd love to. Cal would have loved this, dude. I don't know. I'd love to get Cal off one of these episodes because this is like right up his alley.
I know.
But before we go, let's all give an NBA Finals pick, winner in series, like series length. I can go first. I'm gonna say Spurs win in 7. We're gonna get an epic Game 7 NBA Finals. Wemby takes it home. I think it's gonna be a good series though. I think the Knicks present some kind of unique challenges for the Spurs, but at the end of the day, I think they're pretty relatively close teams, and I think usually you have the best player that kind of helps you prevail.
Mikey, go.
I like Spurs in 6.
So you think they win in MSG? That's kind of why I think it's gonna be tough to close out in MSG.
So I'm rooting for the Knicks, but I would love for the Spurs to win in MSG. That would be kind of like, I feel like that would be. I would love to just see the reaction.
Be great.
But I just feel like the Spurs have a lot to throw at Brunson. Like I just saw them give SGA fits. I think they're gonna give Brunson fits.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think like. They have length. They have tough dudes. I mean, if Brunson goes out there and beats them, like he's just dropping 30 every night. Like, dude, credit to him.
I think sometimes in life, history tends to repeat itself. And I'm going to go like it was in 1999. I'm going to go Spurs in 5. I think maybe the Knicks get one game. They've had a good playoff run. Obviously, you don't win 11 games in a row just rolling through town. Like they've obviously done well, but I don't think the competition's been there. I think they're in for a serious adjustment in competition and environments they've played in, right? Like, they haven't played in any tough environments. Like, they played in Atlanta.
Mm,
Philly was half dead. They
Yeah.
played in, I guess, Cleveland a little bit, I guess,
Cleveland
but
good
was
not
dead
point.
by
really.
then. So the thing
Yeah.
with me too is like I feel like as well, like the Knicks are almost have like similar to the 2023 Heat or the last year's Pacers, where you're just like shooting way above expectation every game, and maybe that
Yeah.
continues. But they're like hitting like their field goal percentage in these games is just like unsustainable. But in the
Right.
playoffs, sometimes it's like, hey, you just need to do it for 4 out of 7, you win. So
Yeah.
that's like it's like they're gonna like Wemby's gonna be leaving Josh Hart open. He's gonna be letting them get up threes. I do think like the Knicks wings might have like I think Anunoby's gonna be tough for Wemby, and I think Mitchell Robinson's pinky or whatever is gonna be a big deal because
I think so
they can
too.
offensive rebound. He like Wemby helps a lot on these shots at the rim, and then Mitchell Robinson can get those, and all of a sudden you get an open three. So I think it's gonna be interesting, and I thought the Spurs showed so much. Like it was just so impressive that young team went into OKC and played as well. Like OKC kept like getting back into that game, and then the Spurs were like kind of like, nope, we got this. And I thought that was
Dude.
so
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, and like, yeah, that's the Spurs are just deep. Like De'Aaron Fox was hitting big shots. Penny was hitting big shot. Like I just trust a lot of the Spurs guys, and I just feel like that depth is just gonna overwhelm the Knicks.
There's one thing that we haven't talked about as to why New York, I think is like the only way they win the series. It's just that the Spurs are a really young team, and it's
Yeah,
like that's really hard to win a championship. You go through that gauntlet that they went through in the West. They took down the champs, you know what I mean? Like, they're all in their very early 20s. Like, this is a young group. So, I don't know. That's one thing. Sometimes, you are a little inexperienced. And the Knicks players, their entire team, they're in their prime. Like, this is their prime
Yeah.
year. Like, they'll very unlikely the Knicks are ever back in the finals,
yeah.
right? The Spurs will probably be there multiple times. This is the Knicks like chance here, so maybe they take advantage. They are in their primes, and the Spurs are a young
I did
team.
feel like the Spurs almost like reacted to winning that game 7 like they won the championship, but I don't love. But that
Yeah,
was at
Yeah.
the same time, I was like, that was a hell of a win. Like it's hard to not be like pretty damn emotional, you know?
right.
Castle too carries himself like he's friggin' like
Dude, it's incredible
just
that
like
kid's 21 years
a
old.
man.
Yeah, like he's
Yeah,
like Jimmy
like,
Butler like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a good comparison.
All right, we'll wrap up there, but this was a ton of fun. We'll probably we got what couple months till really training camp starts revving up, but maybe we'll try to do a couple more of these fun episodes, see if we can come up with some topics. But if anybody has any ideas, let us know. But till next time, go Pats.
Go
Go
Pats.
pass. Love you, AJ.